Your eyes are not deceiving you. I am actually a scorpion riding a dragon. Conquest of Azeroth, best game ever. Welcome back to the channel. To start off, I just wanted to make something a little bit silly, but we are back going over the Venomancer at level 30. That is currently the max level for Phase 1 testing, and I wanted to show off what this class has to offer, go over the spells available to us, and go over the strengths and weaknesses of it so far. To start off, no, sadly, the Nerubian forms are not in Phase 1 for testing. I know it's very sad. I wanted to be a tunnel spooter and burst out of the ground like an alien too, but oh well. I can bring you the next best thing though, the Scorpid form. Now, this is technically the tank form for this class, but I can tell you now this thing is an absolute unit for open world farming and does a decent job at dungeons and PvP as well. In the current state, leveling a pre-Scorpid form is a little dull. Venom Bolt feels weak even at level 30, but it honestly picks up tremendously after unlocking the form. The best way to level is to get 2 one-handers, preferably fast ones like daggers, and auto-attack with the Envenom buff on you. You unlock this skill at level 4, and I suggest doing this style of leveling until you hit level 10, where you unlock Scorpid form. After unlocking Scorpid form, your DPS boosts dramatically, especially once you start unlocking your other skills, which I'll cover a little later. Overall leveling experience, I have to say it's really painful until you unlock Scorpid form. If you can stick through that though, then you will be totally fine. 4 out of 10 leveling in its current state. So what is this class good for? This class in its current form is actually really good at doing the Tribrid class. It can tank decently well with all the health percent bonuses it gets, plus it has a low cooldown, high threat AoE skill, and having a 10-second cooldown on your AoE taunt is fantastic. It can do an immense amount of healing if you layer all your hots together. The biggest problem with it right now is that the spells are extremely mana hungry, but I'd imagine once we get higher levels and in a raid environment, mana sustain won't be an issue. It can deal a decent amount of DPS without feeling too overpowered, and when tackling monsters in the open world, you feel almost invincible. One extremely unique mechanic that this class has is that it can stack one of its hots duration up to an insane amount. When you cast Venomancer's Gift on any target affected by your Shadra's Vigil, it extends that hot by 30 seconds. This isn't exclusive to just the one who cast it, so other Venomancers can chain cast on a single target, increasing the duration to unreal levels. Some alpha Chad probably spent way too much time doing it, but he did get the duration up to over 3 hours. If you spend just a few minutes while in the open world stacking this on yourself, you will have a hot on you that lasts nearly forever, and then every 30 seconds you also gain a massive damage absorb shield. I really hope the devs don't deem this to be broken or unintended, because this one little thing makes my mind go into outer space trying to think of all the different ways to interact with this feature. Please, devs, do not remove this. If you want to cap it for PvP reasons, do something in that environment, but please keep this in the game in its current form for PvE. It is honestly so damn fun. Alright, let's go ahead and go over all the skills that are currently in the game right now at level 30, starting with this character. We got Spooderlady. We are level 30, so let's start here. Venom Spit, rank 2, 30-yard range, instant 10-second cooldown, spits venom at an enemy, inflicting nature damage and slowing their movement by 10% for 30 seconds. Pretty nice for PvP and opening fights in PvE. Tail Strike, melee range, 3-second cooldown, instant, costs 25 rage. You strike the target with your barbed tail, dealing nature damage. If the target is affected by venom tip poison, consume 10 seconds of the duration to make them explode with toxic slime, dealing additional nature damage to nearby enemies. This effect generates a large amount of threat. Really cool. Venom Tip Poison, rank 4, 15-yard range, costs 20 energy, instant, poison an enemy with your envenom tail, causing them to take nature damage every 2 seconds for 1 minute. Scorpid Bite, melee range, instant, deals nature damage to an enemy target and increase your maximum health by 10% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times, generates 15 rage. Super nice. Threatening Posture, 10-second cooldown, instant, taunts all nearby enemies and generates 20 rage. Super powerful for dungeons and open world content if you're with groups. Envenom, so you unlock this at level 4, instant cast, empowers an ally with Venom for 30 minutes, giving them a 10% chance to launch a Venom Bolt at their target whenever they deal damage. Venom Bolt deals 51 to 53 nature damage. Right here we have Scorpid form. Instant cast, 30-second cooldown. This used to have a 3-second cast time for whatever reason, so I'm glad they got rid of that. You enter Scorpid form, granting access to Scorpid abilities, increasing your armor by 300% of your intellect. Pretty sweet. And this is the cooldown that I have right now. chitinous form. 1 minute cooldown, increase your maximum health by 30% for 15 seconds and reduces all damage you take by 20% for the duration. Pretty sweet. Down here is the other DPS spells and healing stuff. We have Venom Bolt, rank 3, 2-second cast, 30-yard range. Fire a jet of venom at an enemy, inflicting damage and reducing healing they take by 30% for 10 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 times. Pretty good in PvP. Doesn't really feel that good in open world stuff just because it doesn't do a lot of damage. But in PvP, it's pretty sweet if you can stay back and you can cast this on something that has a lot of self-heal. Web Wrap, 30-yard range. It's a channeled ability, 8-second cooldown. Channel a beam of webbing at an enemy target, slowing their movement by 35% and inflicting H damage after 3 seconds. I don't really use this all that much, but it can be decent in PvP. I tend not to use it. And right down here are the healing spells. Regeneration, 1-second cast, 20-second cooldown, 40-yard range. Instantly applies regeneration to all allies within 40 yards that are affected by Shadra's Vigil, healing them for 69 to 85 every second for 10 seconds. At the end of the duration, each affected ally will regain 8% of their maximum mana. Now, this is going to be really cool for raids because if you have multiple Venomancers doing this, I believe each regeneration can stack, so everyone's going to be getting a crazy amount of their maximum mana back. Shadra's Vigil, 1.5-second cast. You call Shadra to watch over the target ally, healing them for X amount over 3 seconds. Lasts 30 seconds. At the end of the duration, the affected ally will gain Shadra's Favor, a damage absorption shield that lasts up to 30 seconds and is shared between the allies within 30 yards. Now, I have tested this before. If you cast the Shadra's Vigil on multiple targets, the shield doesn't actually stack, unfortunately, but you can roll this on multiple people, so it's constantly proccing. The shield doesn't stack though, that'd be really broken. Venomancer's Gift, 8-second cooldown, 1.5-second cast, just a standard heal, but if the target is affected by Shadra's Vigil, extend the duration of this effect by 30 seconds. This is really cool. You can stack that hot up to quite a huge duration. Escalate, 9-second cooldown, 1-second cast. Consume Shadra's Vigil on the target to heal them for X amount over every 1 second for 5 seconds. If the target is affected by Widow's Watch, extend the duration of the effect by 30 seconds. So this is kind of your oh shit button. This is a really hard-hitting hot that heals really fast, so you use this and then stack it up with other hots. And then the last one we have is Dark Berry of Shadra. It's an instant cast, 40-yard range, 4-second cooldown. You consume Shadra's Vigil on an ally to place a Dark Berry on them, absorbing X amount of damage from any source up to 12 seconds. If the target is affected by Escalate, also apply Widow's Watch to them, healing them for X amount over 20 seconds. So the way this heals is you just kind of like cycle through all your hots, stacking them with shields and hots and stuff. It's pretty effective for open world and in PvP. You will see me using pretty much all these skills in the PvP footage that I'm going to include. So if you're wondering what these all look like, keep an eye out to see what these look like in the PvP stuff, okay? So can this class PvP? The short answer is yeah, it can. It's not going to be ultra competitive, I don't think, but the fact you can roll hots on yourself, have access to a short cooldown, long range, slow, and combining that with the HP increases and damage reduction CDs, I think you can do an admirable job at PvP. I'll include some footage of some level 30 BGs here to show it off. I will pick back up with you after the footage to give you my final verdict on the Venomancer so far. Before the final verdict, let's go over the weaknesses so far. At the current state, the only thing I'd say it's lacking is a movement speed increase or gap closer ability. I'm pretty sure those will come with levels and some more development time, but surprisingly, the class feels great overall. I don't really have anything else bad to say about it. It's awesome. So my final thoughts on the class so far. In its current state right now, I'd say Venomancer is absolutely badass. It already feels fairly well balanced, the damage isn't completely broken, the tanking feels fair, the healing over time seems strong and really interactive given larger raid environments. The PvP is also really sick. It's badass running around as a scorpion, pinching people's ankles and spitting poison at them. If I were to suggest anything to play, I would look at playing Venomancer. It feels so damn fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this class is capable at high levels. This may be my main going into release, just saying. And with that, this video is done. Subscribe below for more content. I will see you in the next one. #ScorpidGang.